¿Qué pasa, YouTube? How's it going, everybody? Hopefully you're all having a good day today. Have for y'all a pretty good Wi-Fi battle I had off of my Discord. Of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to show up support, hit that like button down below, and answer the comment question of the day, guys. Thank you so much for all the great support on my Showdown lives and my Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battles. It does really mean the world to me that you guys have been consistently enjoying my battles, and there's plenty more to come. So looking at the team preview, this is actually a really cool team that I got off of the forums. I'll leave a link to it down in the description, and it was based around Aurora Veil plus Clangorous Scales Kommo-o. So going into this game on my opponent's side of the field, first off, he had a Gligar instead of a Gliscor. I'm not too sure why he had Gligar over Gliscor. I mean, I guess Gligar is a little bit more bulky, but offensive threats were definitely going to be this Manchow. Also, trying to break through Sylveon is going to be a little bit annoying because I need to ensure that that Sylveon is gone if I want my Kommo-o to be able to sweep, which it is a win condition on this team and what I really wanted to show off. So he ends up leading off with the Manchow, as I'm going to be leading off with my Aurorus. This is against a male. I forgot his name off of my Discord and I apologize, but if you see this, my mans, let me know in the comment section below. So I switched directly into my Doublade because I didn't want him to go for the fake out and break the Focus Sash on my Aurorus. So that way I could then potentially go for a Shadow Sneak or a Gyro Ball, but he ends up going for the Stone Edge, as I believe I still just go safely for the Shadow Claw. Even if he wanted to stay in, I was still going to get off good damage on the Manchow. As he ended up bringing in the Gligar, I switched back into my Aurorus, thinking that he would actually go for the Stealth Rocks, but he ends up going for the knockoff, and this is perfectly fine by me because I'm very positive that he's not going to want to stay in here. There's really no real reason why he should want to leave in a Gligar against an Ice type, and of course I have the Blizzard, which is not going to miss in the Hail, so I will be able to take this chance to get up my Stealth Rocks as he makes an aggressive switch directly into his Arcanine. I do not want to take a Flare Blitz, so I'm going to switch into my Latias here, which should be able to live anything that this Arcanine wants to go for. As he goes for the close combat, that does way too much damage. So he doesn't take Life Orb damage, and it turns out that he doesn't have leftovers, which means there is a chance that this could be Banded Arcanine, although at this moment I'm not entirely too sure, but I'm very positive that he's not going to want to stay in against my Latias, because if he was Banded, then I could just knock him out with the Draco Meteor possibly. Plus, there's no reason why he should want to stay in when he has a Sylveon, which is just about always a safe switch in to Latias, which is why I doubled out here into my Aurorus, expecting him to bring in the Sylveon. And what this is going to allow me to do is hopefully get up my Stealth Rocks, but at the same time I need to try to keep my Aurorus as healthy as possible, so I don't want to take a Hyper Voice, which is why I switched directly here into my Alolan Sandslash. What this is going to now allow me to do is get up my Aurora Veil, which is going to be very handy in this battle. The sooner I can get rid of the Sylveon, or the sooner I can weaken this Sylveon, that is going to open a giant window for my Kommo-o to come in, go for its Z move, get its Omni Boost, and possibly sweep. So that is what I was hoping for in this game. As I do get up my Aurora Veil here, he does end up passing off the Wish to his Arcanine, which is slightly annoying because I was able to chip it down so much, and now it's just brought back up to full HP. But because I do have the Aurora Veil up, I can play a little bit more aggressively with my Latias, and this is going to allow me to switch it in directly back to this Arcanine, as he does end up making the safe play in going for the close combat. If he did go for the Flare Blitz there, that wouldn't have been entirely too bad either. Plus, he would have taken that extra recoil damage on top of the hail damage, as I believe this turn I end up making a bit of an odd play. So my thought was that he would try to switch right back into the Sylveon and not want to bring in this Muck. So this, in a sense, was, honestly, looking back at it, probably was a bad play. So I'm just going to try to get off as much damage as I can on this Alola Muck. If he is Assault Vested, I should still be doing a solid like 55 to at least 60%, but I do get very lucky and I end up getting a crit. I'm not going to lie, that crit was very useful because there was no way I was going to be able to Oko Muck after Stealth Rocks and then he might have easily been able to knock me out with the knockoff even through Aurora Veil. So yeah, I did get a little bit lucky there with the Draco, as he does bring back in the Sylveon. I am at -1 special attack, so I don't want to stay in here, and my hail did end, so I'm going to switch directly into my Aurorus. If anything, I can get my hail up, and before the hail ends, I should be able to get my Veil back up, as he ends up making a very good double switch here into his Arcanine, expecting me to not stay in with my Latios, and this puts me in a bit of a predicament. So I'm going to make a very ballsy play here, and I'm going to bring in my Doublade, as luckily he does end up going for the close combat. I expected him to go for the close combat as opposed to going for the Flare Blitz, because again, I do have the Aurora Veil up. So there's no way even a Choice Banded Flare Blitz is going to knock out my Aurorus through Aurora Veil, but a close combat most likely will. So I do end up getting a safe switch into my Doublade here, and I'm going to go straight for the Shadow Claw. I guess in hindsight, I probably could have double switched out here, but just on the off chance that he wasn't banded and he did try to stay in and get off some damage on me, I wanted to get rid of this Arcanine. As this turn, I'm going to switch directly into my Alolan Sandslash, as he does end up going for the Roost. I believe this is the last turn of my Veil, as it does end. This following turn is the last turn of my Hail, so I have to go for my Aurora Veil this turn, because if I went straight for the Icicle Crash, then I wouldn't be able to get my Veil back up this next turn. And by getting up my Veil, as you can see, I'm able to chew this Earthquake, and then the next turn I can safely go for an Icicle Crash. But I expect him to want to switch into Arcanine, thinking that I am going to go for the Icicle Crash, so that way I can Earthquake the Arcanine as it comes in, but he stays in, and he goes for the Rocks, which is a little bit annoying, because now he can stall out an extra turn of my Aurora Veil, and I'm going to be forced to go for the Rapid Spin, because I do not want these rocks up on my side of the field. So this next turn, I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash, thinking, yeah, I'm just going to knock out this Gligar, right? No, it lives on like 2%, and I guess the good thing is that he went for knockoff instead of going for the Earthquake. So this next turn I can knock him out with the Rapid Spin, but he was able to stall out a couple turns of my Aurora Veil, and that in itself is very beneficial to my opponent. This background is so trippy. Why is this where is this in the game? Can anybody please let me know? I honestly don't know where this is in the game. I played through the whole game, and not once did I see this background. So if anybody knows where this is, please let me know, because like I'm trying to not just like focus on all the little hearts kind of just floating up in the air here. So he brought back in Arcanine as I switch into my Aurorus here. That Flare Blitz does way too much damage, and unfortunately I don't have anything at this point that I can safely switch into this possibly banded Arcanine, so I am going to have to sack off my Aurorus here, which means once my Hail ends, I will no longer be able to get back up my Aurora Veil. But that in itself is not entirely too bad, but it does kind of suck, I'm not going to lie. So it is going to be a double down, as I end up bringing in my Doublade, thinking that he would end up bringing in the Manchow, but he actually ends up bringing in the Empoleon, and I make a really bad misplay here. So I completely overlooked Manchow at this instance in the battle, and what I should have honestly done was just sacked off my Latios. At this point, Latios is not doing anything for me in this battle. It's just really death fodder, so I would have been able to save my Doublade and keep it at a high amount of HP, and it turned out that his Empoleon was actually Life Orb, which means it may have been like an agility set or something like that. So I'm going to switch out here, sacking off my Latios, or just allowing the Hail damage and Life Orb damage to wear down the Empoleon, as he actually switches into his Sylveon here. I'm not sure if he predicted me to switch in the Latios here or not, but this does end up benefiting him, as I'm going to make a bit of an odd play and go for the Calm Mind, because I thought that he would try to go for the Wish to possibly pass it off to the Empoleon, as he then goes for the Moonblast. So typically Sylveon carry Hyper Voice because they have Pixelate, but I'm guessing he's got Moonblast because Kommo-o is running around a lot right now in the UU tier, and it does have Soundproof. So by having Moonblast, Sylveon can still in theory beat Kommo-o 1v1 if it comes down to it, because Kommo-o's Soundproof does block Hyper Voice. So I guess that's kind of a good reasoning to have Moonblast, but at the same time, Moonblast is a little bit stronger than Hyper Voice. But I mean, if he is using Sylveon as his Kommo-o counter, then I guess it's perfectly understandable as to why he has Moonblast. I don't know, you guys are going to have to ask him. This is just what I am assuming, of course. So I'm going to be able to bring in my Scizor here, go straight for the Swords Dance. Typically, defensive Sylveon do not carry Hidden Power Fire, so I really didn't feel like I lost too much in just going straight for the Swords Dance. Unless he had made a really aggressive switch into his Empoleon, then there was no other way I would have been in a bad scenario after going for the Swords Dance, as I'm able to just annihilate the Sylveon. This does not mean that my Kommo-o could possibly win, but honestly, at this point, Scizor at +2 just wins as well, because as you can see, there's no chance Mienshao is living this hit. And if Empoleon is not faster than me, I do have the superpower. And again, I am at +2. I am Life Orb. So I will guarantee knock out this Empoleon with the superpower. But because he was most likely a more offensive agility set of Empoleon, he's able to knock me out with the Surf. This is fine though, because I will be able to bring in Kommo-o now, and in return just knock him out with the Drain Punch. Now, I do have another Wi-Fi battle where Kommo-o actually does put in some work, so I will be uploading that for you guys as well, because I really just wanted to show off Kommo-o, man. I really want to use Kommo-o's Z move on Wi-Fi. So yeah, that is going to be the victory in my favor. Good game to my opponent. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the awesome battle, and if you did, make sure to show off support. Hit that like button down below. Your support is greatly appreciated, guys. Thank you so much. Also, make sure to answer the comment question of the day, and with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow again with 2 more videos. So later, everybody.
No matter where you're at, I'm not here to make friends, it's time to attack and deplete your HP with a final smash. Don't make me turn around and pull a 6-foot hacks. 6-foot hacks, yeah. 6-foot hacks, yeah. 6-foot hacks.